Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about the books I read during this summer. I didn't really stick to my TBR from my summer TBR because I decided to start a book series, and I binge read it. So yeah, and I thought right now would be the perfect time to do this video because September is starting, and even though I think summer technically doesn't end until the 21st of September, I'm not sure. I feel like September, we're going towards fall, and I'm going to upload a fall TBR pretty soon. So I thought of just doing my summer wrap up. There are not a lot of books, unfortunately, you saw, but because I really took my time to read the series that you just saw right now. I would take 3 weeks to read one book because I really wanted to make sure I was understanding the fantasy and to really enjoy it when it lasted, because I really love this series and I didn't want it to end. I'm not done with it technically, but I'm done with the first 3 books that are focused on 2 special characters that I do not follow anymore in the next books. So I really wanted to enjoy it correctly. So to start this video, the first book I read this summer was Everything I Never Told You. I did a reading vlog where I was reading this book and I really loved it. I think it's just amazing. It was a 6-star read for me. It wasn't the type of 6 stars and I'm like, oh my god, it's interesting, oh my god, I can start reading it. It was more the moral of the book was really important to me, and I want to know what type of mom I want to be, what type of woman I want to be in the future. I just love this book so much. In this book, you follow a American Chinese family that lives in Ohio in the 70s, and their daughter, the golden daughter Lydia, dies. She drowned in the lake, and we're trying to find out who did it, what happened. And you see all of the backstory of the family. You go from present to past and stuff. The impact that this book had on me is huge, and I think about this book quite a lot. I annotated a lot of it. There's so many beautiful quotes that I relate so much to, and I really recommend to everyone to read this book. And I feel like reading this book as a girl especially is really healing. I don't know, it's just I love it so much. So this was my first read of this summer and it was 6 stars. Now we're getting into the spicy part of the month, which is when I started to read the ACOTAR original trilogy. There are 5 books. I think the 6th one is being written right now, but originally it was only 3 books. And I started with A Court of Thorns and Roses. I love this book. I was reading it, fell in love with it immediately, was addicted to this book. It's a 5 stars. Summer was an amazing summer regarding my reading journey. And this was 5 stars. I was addicted to this, and it was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I love retellings. It's one of my favorite things to read about. And you follow Farah. In the beginning I was pronouncing her name Fair, but I know it's Farah. And it's better when I lean back, I think. So yes, you follow Farah. She kills a wolf in the woods as she is hunting for her family, and that wolf was a fairy. And then a big beast shows up to her house to take her to his castle as a retribution for the wolf's death. And that's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And then she goes into the fair world and she meets people, and she's in danger sometimes, and she falls in love with their main love interest in this book, Tamlin. I was a Tamlin lover when I read this, okay? This is long gone, but still, I love this book so much. It was so good. The tension, the writing, the world building was really easy to understand, I think. I mean, obviously you need to you need to understand, but it was super easy. I feel like it wasn't difficult. I was never confused. That's what I'm trying to say. I was never confused when I was reading this, and I just love this so much. And it's the first time I ever annotated like this, actually. Usually when I annotate, let me know if you want a video on how I annotate. But usually when I annotate, I just take one color of post-its, and I highlight nice quotes I have. But in ACOTAR, I decided to highlight the yellow ones are nice quotes I like in general. And the blue ones, it's love moments, or moments where the love interest does something or says something, and something happens between the main couple. And I love them so much. Now this is Tamlin, and I was a Tamlin fan at the beginning, but now Rysand came in and everything, but still, those are cute. And now the second book, I Come Off, I was not ready. I thought the first one was amazing. I was not ready for the second one. Oh, I was not ready. But I Come Off, it's a really big book. I read it immediately after A Court of Thorns and Roses because I just couldn't wait. But it's a really big book, but it was so good. This book is where everything shifts and changes in this series. Like people say that they pretend that the first book doesn't exist, like in the whole series, and I understand why, because the first book is so much different from the rest of the series, and this is where everything changes, everything like takes a turn, like the best one though, but like still it takes a turn, and Farah changes of life, like she changes so many things about her life. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but still. And yeah, so everything changes in this, and we meet the loveliest people I've ever read about in books. We meet like friendship she's going to keep for the rest of her life, and I love that so much. Like you discover so many new people, new places, and it's just so good. And there's so many things happening between Farah and Rysand, and it's so good. Before I read Agatha, like the series, I knew Rysand was with her, and then when I read the first book I was really confused. I was like, I thought she was Rysand, but I think, you know, but it's so good. And the love moments, the things they say, it's low-key poetic, like it's actually amazing. I love this so much. So yes, I love this book. I think this is my favorite one in the whole series, I think, because this is, like I said, this is where like everything like builds up, and like this is the foundation of the series. Like everything takes place in here, and I just love this so much. So 5 stars, obviously. It's my favorite one in the series. That was the best read of like the whole entire summer. I was kicking my feet, I was giggling in this. Amazing, chef's kiss. Then after that, I didn't jump right into the third one because I wanted like something like something to switch a little bit, like change. And my fiance randomly bought me the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. That was a surprise, and I was so happy because I have been wanting to read, because I don't have a lot of romances like with my books. I have like 2 or 3, but like that's pretty much it. But like cowboy romances, I've been wanting to read some for like a really long time. So I read Flawless, 4.5 stars. So entertaining, so good, so easy to read, amazing. I loved it so much. It's a bit like, obviously, like when I read fantasies, it's like it's not that much of familiar language, modern stuff, and now we're switching to like, you know, like normal life. It was a bit like of a shock at first, but like that's just me, not just because I wasn't used to it yet. But I love this. It's about this bull rider. He meets, like, obviously it's like a cliche type of story, like the really grumpy bull rider. He gets like this city girl that doesn't live like in farms and stuff. Like she's not a small town girl, she's a city girl that dresses like a city girl, that acts like one, and she's all sunshine and cute. And this grumpy bull rider has this girl as like his agent and assistant, whatever, and he doesn't like her, but then he gets to like her because she's really sweet with him and she cares about him, you know. She cares about him. She really gets to like appreciate and understand his job, because his whole family is like, oh, you should stop bull riding, like you're getting old, because he's like 32 years old, and she's the only one who really understands or respects his job. And then they get along, and then they fall in love and everything. But it's such a good story. I loved it so much. It's really entertaining and addictive, and I rotated a lot of it as well. But obviously it's not like the read of the year, like there's nothing like life-changing in this book, but it's just I got what I needed from this. I needed to be entertained fast, because I was really scared to fall into a reading slump after reading Alchemov, because I was so like, you know, in love with the characters. And when I first started this, I was like, I miss Farah and Rysand. I want them back right now. Like, it's never gonna feel like this again. So this helped a little bit, but I really love this book. I really recommend the series. Right now, I'm reading the second one, which is Heartless, and this is about like his brother. Like every book follows a different brother, and I love this so much. It's so fun. Now, the last book I read this summer, I barely finished it. This took me a month to read, because like I said, I took my time. I really took my time reading this, because I really wanted to, like, you know, dive in properly in the story and to not rush it. And I read Aquawar. This book made me cry like 5 times in under an hour. It was so sad. I knew there's a big thing that happens in here, and I got spoiled by TikTok like a year ago, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna say what page it is, but they say, oh my god, this page, and then I looked at it not knowing like what the story was about, and I saw, and I was like, oh, that's like a massive spoiler. So I knew, okay, if you read this, you know what I'm talking about. But still, there were like many moments around that made me cry, and I really like shattered my heart and put it back together. Like, it was beautifully written. I love this. Like, the war happens in this book, so obviously like a lot of things are being said and done, and it's really sad and it's really like emotional, but I really love this book. Again, the relationship between Farah and Rexon deepens even more, and I love this book, and I can't wait to read the fourth one. I don't have the fourth one, I can't wait though. Like, the little novella, it's like a Christmas special. Like, I really want to read it. And there's also the fifth book, it's about Cashin and Nesta, and in this book we had like a glimpse of them, like what's going on between them. That made me cry. But yeah, I really love this series, and now like I'm sad because I finished this book, and this is the last book where you follow Farah, like Farah's perspective and Ryson's kind of. You won't follow them anymore. Like, I think like the novella A Court of Frost and Starlight, I think like the blue one, it's like about everyone, that you read about everyone, which is great. Like, I like that. And then the fifth one is like exclusively about Cashin and Nesta. But I start like in the first book, I don't know if you saw my vlog of like 100 pages a day. If you didn't, go check it. But when I first started this, I was like, I hate Nesta, she's such a mean person, I don't like her, like she's crazy. But in this book, like, you get more of her. Like, she's there, and I'm not gonna say I love her, but I like her. Like, I understand her. She's like this woman who's furious. She's this woman who has something against the world. Like, I can smell it. Like, she has something, like, and she's really powerful. She's really, really powerful, and I want to explore her. Like, I want to know more about this lady, because I feel like she's really interesting. And from what I saw already, she is. So yeah. And also the dynamic between Nesta and Elaine and Farah is way better now, which I love, because in the first book they all hated each other. I mean, no, like, they hated Farah. So that was like the majority of my summer, to read the ACOTAR original trilogy, and I loved it. It was the best decision I've ever made. ACOTAR was in my summer TBR, the rest wasn't though, but it was, so I didn't feel that much like my summer TBR, but still. So I read this, and also this little romance, recommended to anyone, and this especially as well. So yes, this was my okay, this was my summer. Gosh, please do not fall, please. Okay, so I'm done. All right, there we go. Here was my summer wrap up finally. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I didn't read a lot. Like, when you see summer wrap-ups videos, it's like 20-40 books. I am not that. I am not a fast reader. I procrastinate. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I'm just not like that. I aspire to be that one day. I want to, but right now it's not the case, and I don't know if like it's going to be the case anytime soon. So yes, but this is great. I really had a good summer though. Like, I would rather have a few reads that were amazing than a lot of reads where like half of them were bad. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really satisfied. But don't forget to subscribe, comment, like this video, and also check out my other videos that are available on my YouTube channel. Goodbye and thank you.